Are you animal lovers? Well, do we have some dogs for you right after this? We're kind of laughing because we sort of plan these things in advance.
Keep it to yourself.
So welcome to, and thanks for joining us, the Real Estate Investors Show, hard money for real estate investors. We are Carolina Capital Management. And if you are we're borrowers for real estate.
We're not borrowers for real estate. We are lenders for
real estate in the Southeast. If you would like to become a borrower and your property is located in the Southeast, go to carolinahardmoney.com, click on the Apply Now tab. If you're a passive investor looking for passive returns, then click on the Accredited Investor tab. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit the bell, and sign up for Wednesdays with Wendy.
That's right.
You take 1 week off, man.
No.
1 week off.
It's all over.
Wendy gives up every Wednesday afternoon to help other real estate investors with their real estate question.
Actually.
And okay, so now she's changing the game on me.
No.
Anyway, there's her Calendly link. Schedule your time. She's usually booked out a couple of months in advance. So get us now. Again, you don't have to talk real estate, but you're wasting your time if you.
Yeah, I have openings starting in November now. So.
All right.
Yeah.
So you're not as
Well, it's still September.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Still, a month and a half booked out. That's pretty good.
Oh, too funny.
Well, let's get this
party started.
Train wreck started with some
Bill,
breaking news, please.
You are always best.
He means.
So let's start off with the employment. It was a little higher this week than last week, in the 300 and something thousand range, but it was 2 million more than was expected. And that stuff is going to kind of fluctuate anyway. I'm not really concerned about it. Building starts good. It was again higher than expected. I can't give you the exact number. It's all good.
Which is really going good going into this time of the year.
Well, isn't finally, I don't know the time frame, but finally new starts on single family is ahead of new starts on multifamily.
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty amazing.
Also, building permits are up too. So future building is also on the rise, and it was higher than expected. I still think we're gonna run. All right, I'm getting ahead of myself. Builder sentiment.
They feel good.
Yeah, and see,
how they feeling?
I hate this statistic. It's not actual statistics on the actual stuff. It's just how they feeling.
Yeah.
About stuff.
Yeah. Feelings are relevant, or so I'm told by a lot of people.
That's true. So that said, they're cautious because they're still worried about supply chain issues, labor shortages, still going to figure in, which means it's going to cost more to build houses. But as long as our interest rates stay relatively low, you still should be able to find an affordable.
I even heard this morning on the radio they were talking about supply chain issues, and that if you haven't purchased your Christmas gifts for this year, that you're not going to get what you're looking for. And I remember last year out of trees. We didn't have a tree.
I just saw, I think it was on CNN about Christmas trees, artificial trees going up like double digits.
And even they're hard to get now. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, I heard on Fox Business too. It's time to run out and get all your toilet paper and stuff too.
Oh my gosh!
If
we run out of toilet paper again,
Costco,
get a bidet,
which is I'm not getting into that. So Costco is
Subject.
one of the best at
You're not literally getting
supply
into
chain. Supply chain. They're the
one.
one. Costco is the one that's sitting out the warning to, store up. So all that means is everyone's going to run.
You mean the
and
place that
create
benefits
That's what I
when
was
you
gonna
buy
say.
stuff from them tells you, hey, come spend money because
That's like the fox in the hen house saying, you need to
That's
take your lock
ridiculous.
off.
By the way, coming up in our 1:00 hour, very important show. You have to come if you have an IRA
Or not.
or
If you are in the
if
business.
you are a
in
real
business.
estate investor, if you're in the real estate business at all,
Mhm.
this concerns you.
No.
So
and
It
even if
does.
you have a 401k, a solo 401k, it will probably affect you
Yeah.
if down the road.
This cripple, what they're doing
Mm-hmm.
with this IRA crisis, it could cripple the real estate market, which would mean all of the economy. We think so highly on it. It's
Again,
a
stay
big
tuned.
deal.
For the
So we have Jeff
1:00 show.
Watson, incredible attorney.
So we're going to talk about some happier news. Deals that were dogs.
Yeah.
So since I'm on the fundraising side, I'm sure I've got some in the back of my head from when I wasn't on the funding side. But since you guys are in the lending trenches,
What?
who wants to go first with a?
So what
Deal that
exactly
was a
do you
dog.
mean by a dog?
Well, it could have started off to be a dog and finished up nice, or it could have just been a dog to begin with. Just
Well, I think they all start off good and turn into dogs, and sometimes they come out of it, and sometimes they don't. Right?
I can tell you most of the time it's either market conditions turn it dog, because if you're getting money for it and you're going through a legitimate dogs aren't going to get through.
I really believe that
Market conditions
the
later
biggest
can-
thing that causes the dog, as you put it, is underestimating your rehab budget and surprises that you don't see going in. That happens pretty commonly, don't you think?
Oh yeah, I mean, surprises every time for sure. It is like if I had to pick out a dog, it's like cute little dogs that you're like, oh my gosh, this project was like, oh, I see it. Yeah, that's pretty. And then it grew up and it turned it into this ugly little mutt.
Yeah, chewing your
Yeah,
underwear.
But it turned out, I guess if we could keep the metaphor going, it's like it's the best trained dog ever, and then everyone wanted that dog. So it had its highs and its lows.
That's
but
right.
but you remember
Let me interrupt you real quick. If you're
He
using
hasn't talked in 2 minutes.
I know.
if you're using hard money lender to do your deals, they are going to make sure that your budgets are in line.
Yeah, we do our best to do
So if
that.
you do these on your own, it may happen, but if you're using a lender, they're going to make sure that your budget is proper to begin with.
Yeah.
The only thing they can't control is unforeseen
That's
stuff.
right.
No one has X-ray vision. Go ahead.
That seemed totally worth interrupting me for. So
Couldn't have been done.
No,
couldn't have been.
I would have forgotten. That's why I had to do it now.
I
Yeah.
Me too.
So in NODA, well, I guess it's was it? I guess it's Shamrock Plaza is really where it was.
Oh yeah.
Where we did 44 duplexes that were also condos,
Individually owned.
individually owned, and it was across 3 different streets. These
Mhm.
44.
Great
There-
location.
There were drugs in there.
Mhm.
I mean, just you don't want it. You did not. I would not walk on that in 2018.
That's exactly right.
when I wouldn't walk on that road at night.
That's exactly
Um,
right.
And so they converted all of these into 2 bedrooms, 1.5, 2 baths, completely redid them. I think they bought them somewhere between 90 and 125 a door.
Mhm.
And they have one, they've all been refied since then, selling one that's under contract, closes next month for like $275 for 1 door.
Wow, that's
So-
pretty good.
And the most beautiful part about this, it started accounting team hated it
Yeah.
because
Our accounting.
our
team.
accounting team, because it was 44 condos. So it was 44 different loans inside of one loan.
Yeah.
So that was not fun.
And some of them were owned by different fractions of the original people.
Yep. And so they had to go in, I mean, complete revamp of this whole neighborhood, new roofs, completely redo the whole layout. They had there wasn't room underneath the floors in the crawl space for water heaters. So they had to go tankless on everything. I mean, you're just like we blew through the budget twice.
That's right.
We blew through the budget twice. But the thing was, we could see the borrower's vision.
Right.
Even though at that time it was like, this
blurry.
Is a dog.
Yeah. It was blurry.
It's like I could see and you like, okay, we know where it's going. And I mean, yeah, and now they're, they bought them for $95 to $125 a door, and they were selling between $250 and $275.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and the beautiful part about that was the borrower had several people who stayed in that location once they got all the drug dealers out, and they came up and just said, thank you so much
for fixing
for turning our neighborhood around. Like, I can't, like, my house is now worth double what it was before, and I don't have the problems around here. So like the community aspect of it was amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. I really like too about those borrowers. We do a lot of loans for them, and they're so open-minded. They took me with them while they were framing, and we walked in every single unit, and they listened to what I said about, because they were going with real small closets. I had them in the closet. We had them close up openings that didn't need to be there, and change the things in the kitchen around just to give it more room. And they took my advice that they did.
Could be why they got those 275 values.
Well, there's a difference, and I'm going to say it out loud, between the way a man looks at a place and the way a woman looks at a place.
Sorry, those are pronouns.
Yeah. So I'm going to identify as a total female at this point. And it's important to put that into perspective, because we all in real estate, it's the wife or the female in the relationship that's really gonna
kitchens, bathrooms, and closets.
That's right.
That's what it is.
That's right. So they were really good about listening to that, and I think they even volunteered to paint everybody's door on all 3 streets, so it would have a nice uniform
not
look.
Just the door, but paint their brick. So they were all brick.
Right.
So anyone, even a house they didn't, or a duplex they didn't own, they paint everyone's houses who wanted it.
Yeah, to upgrade it, and it's a great community.
Oh, and now I mean, like, it's like I drove through there not too long ago. I'm just like looking around, like, wow,
it's amazing. It's amazing.
This place has turned around,
but it was rough going through it.
So we blew through the budget twice. I think it took almost 12 months longer than we thought it would to get it all done, but it worked out.
Yeah,
and that's the beautiful thing of working private lenders like ourselves. We have the ability to see that vision and the flexibility to move with you, whereas if you're with perhaps more institutional funds, that vision and flexibility. It's
so did they keep any of them for rentals, or did they sell them all?
They kept a few for rentals. Yep.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
That would make it great in the Bay Area too.
Oh yeah.
And the association isn't going to stop it.
That's not true. It's not true. They're not allowed to, per the HOA rules, you cannot Airbnb in there.
I didn't think that they're on the board of every single one of them.
That's true.
They could change that.
I don't know if they have, but
they make suggestions.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Last I heard, it was not allowed.
That's a shame, because that would be a perfect location.
There's a brewery not very far from here. I think it's less than a mile. Yeah, it's cool little spot. But that was a dog. The accounting team, cussed me out probably every week. But,
They did it respectfully, though.
Oh yeah. Mostly behind my back. I heard it.
No, that was us. No, that was really a good deal. They're a great client. We love having them. So,
do you have anything interesting?
Yeah, well, I could list an entire sheet of dogs.
You heard it straight from here. If you have a dog, bring it to Wendy.
Yeah, because we've seen them all. We participate some. I've had some of my own. My favorite one, the one that my husband and I got into right off of Park Road. This had to be in 2005, I believe. 2005, 2006, somewhere in that range. Yeah, that's right.
Because I had a house right next to it.
next door. So we go in and, I did everything wrong. We did our own work. Number one, don't ever do that. My husband, who is extremely talented as subcontractor, is also extremely precise, and it's he's going to try to straighten out 100-year-old walls and make it perfect, and that doesn't work if you're doing a rehab for sure. But anyway, he did a beautiful job fixing it up. We put it on the market. Guy came in and bought it, and we made $3,000 off of it, so we were thrilled about that. Guy came in and bought it and knocked it down, built a new house on top of it. That was worth $300,000 more than the one we sold him.
The lesson learned here was look at your highest and best use when you get a place.
That's right.
And the highest and best use in that particular market at the time was really tear downs, because people were building McMansions. And it was
happening all around me, all up and down the street, and I didn't pay attention to it. I didn't listen to my own preach. And what was so bad about it is that I was trying to be cheap too, which is another thing I preach against. I didn't want to have to, I do. What? I did not want to have to borrow enough money, the money that I needed. I wanted to try to use as much cash as possible. We tried to do our own work. We did everything I tell people not to do. And we could have, if we had done it right, we could have made a couple $100,000 off of that deal, and it ended up making 30. So that kind of sucked.
Well, the house that I had right next to it, it wasn't mine, a company that I worked for, and we made a $300,000 loan on it with cash out on a free and clear property. It was the son of the person passed away in that house, so they were the heir, and never made the first payment on it. Close. Now, if he would have just put the house up for sale, he would have gotten so much more money.
I know,
but instead he got a loan
and went off
one payment.
Yeah,
and then we ended up having to go through foreclosure. So the company that I worked for ended up losing money. He lost money.
Yeah.
And then the people that bought it, from us, ended up knocking it down and building a nice McMansion.
Yeah, building a nice house there. So that was rough, but that was not the capital that did that. Just so we know.
This was 2005.
That's right. So we have another one too that was a loan that we lent on. A house that we lent money on. It was a ground up construction. We ended up having to take the house back. One on Country Club.
Oh man!
Right in the middle of Noda. Just could not be a more prime location. And the mistake, first of all, instead of just selling it, but we only had a foundation at the time, but finished it with the plans that were in place from the person that we took it back from. And unfortunately, he had builder grade plans on a house that would be worth $900,000. And and it hurt. I mean, it took us a long time to get it sold. We lost money on that house for sure. Personally, we lost money on it because we cashed into that one. So that kind of sucked. And the problem is, listen to that, is you need to be building or rehabbing with where the house is located. Don't undercut it. Don't
go too far over. Don't go too under.
Yeah, that's another good point, is don't overkill either, because you won't get your money. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's you want to talk about that?
I know.
Yeah. That's his own personal deal. Yeah, do what we say, not as we do.
Man,
right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I blame Cabarrus County
that sounds
inspectors
good. I'll do that too.
For a little bit of it. I do blame them for a little bit of it, but man, had them come out four times. Each time they would point out something different for the electrical inspections, and then finally got out there and he was like, "Oh yeah, you have to have a complete meg done." upstairs. So I have to pay electrical engineer to come in and test every single wire, every single outlet, everything in there, and then tell me what all is wrong. Luckily, it wasn't as much as we thought. But the worst part is, after we fix it, I have to hire him back to do the same test again to show
that it's been done. That stinks.
And it's only, it's not too bad. It's only like, a little over $2,000 per test.
Oh, is that all?
That's it. Yeah. Yeah.
And see, that's something you can't plan for that. You can't put that in your budget. I
don't even, my budget. Whew.
Yeah, that's tough.
The good news, the market covers up a lot of mistakes.
Oh, well, the thing is,
lately.
Yeah. The electrical is a mistake. I put in porcelain tile floors down.
Yeah, that's the part I was talking about in the first place.
Yeah. And it cost me, 2 weeks, and I don't know how much money. I wouldn't want to say. But I could have just put in luxury vinyl plank. But again, luckily, every day that becomes more and more valuable.
So too funny.
My mistakes are covered.
By the way, the house is absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
And you got a good deal on it, and you're still going to make profit.
Yeah.
Yeah. If anyone wants a house in Concord,
that's already done.
It's
ready to go.
Yeah. Once the
electric's good.
Once the electric is done upstairs, it's done.
That's for sure. I've got one more. We talked about inspections.
Electricity is overrated.
Yeah, electricity is overrated. So we talked about the inspection, how that can hold you back, and how time can save you as well as kill you. But it can also. So my business partner and I had a house in here in Rock Hill on Center Street, and we bought it thinking we were going to bought it for 80. We're going to put another 80 into it, and thought we would be able to sell it in the low 2s.
Mm-hmm.
We ended up, from inspection after inspection, failed inspection after failed 3 contractors later, ended up putting $160,000 of work.
And your original budget was 80.
Our original budget was 80, so we were a little over budget.
Just a little bit.
When we put it on the market, by the time it was a year and a half later from when we started, by the time we put it back on the market, we were able to list it for, let's see, $50,000 higher than what we thought we were going to get for it when we bought it.
Well, you didn't.
Yeah, and we got full price offer, so we were thrilled about that. And actually left the closing table with about $5,000 in our pocket. Once all was said and done.
Hey, that's a win right there.
But when you factor in our financing costs, we made payments longer than we needed to. We actually lost $14,000 on that.
Yeah, if you don't have a net sheet when you do these deals, like net sheet is just like net return. So takes in all the things that is insurance, everything along the way that is expense on that property. You won't ever know your true return unless you track every single thing.
That's right.
Just because you walk away with a closing with $20,000 doesn't mean you made $20,000.
Really
and by the way,
we were sweating bullets too.
Sneak peek into October, our whole month of October. We're going to talk about the numbers on all these different investments, and Jonathan is going do a webinar at the end of the month on all the Excel sheets that together to
Excel spreadsheets. Awesome. Awesome.
That you can use to follow those.
He's a spreadsheet nerd. We love that about him.
The bottom line is, even experienced investors and people that see loans, in our case, we see loans every day.
Hopefully.
we should learn even more from them. We still make mistakes. Sometimes forces mistakes.
Yeah.
Don't get discouraged. Going to make money for the most part. You're going to find deals that are dogs and are going to cost you money, but part of that's a learning experience. But in the long run, you're always going to make more than you're going to lose.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
So bottom line, always use
Already bottom line.
My own.
Double bolded bottom
That's
line.
right. This is the bottom line. Always use worst case scenario numbers when you're running your numbers. Number one.
And she calls me the Debbie Downer. Go ahead.
So you always want to do that. And you will never make any money if you don't try. Right?
Well, that's true. If you don't take action,
That's right.
you're going to make zero.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's right.
And then the bottom line is if someone tells you that they've never lost money in real estate,
They're liars.
run from them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they haven't done any deals,
They either haven't done any deals or they're lying to you. One of the two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
or
So,
they haven't done enough.
yeah. Well, you've been doing this for 20 years and I've never lost a dime. I'm like, I don't want to do.
Yeah. Your nose is growing, Pinocchio.
All right, folks. Thank you so much for joining us on the
Yes.
Real Estate Investor Show. Hard money for real estate investors. We are Carolina Capital Management. We are lenders for real estate investors in the Southeast. If you are interested in borrowing, go to carolinahardmoney.com. Click on the Apply Now tab. If you're a passive investor looking for passive returns, click on the Accredited Investor tab.
All right, take a breath.
Don't
Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit the bell. Did you think I was going to run out?
Yeah.
I didn't know.
And don't forget to sign up with Wednesday with Wendy and our next show coming
Please
up.
don't miss us. Please
It's
don't
very
miss it.
important if you're a real estate investor at all. This is a must see.
Yep.
We'll see you shortly.
Looking forward to it.
Bye.